Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're counting down the top 3 United States coins, a $quarter, Jefferson nickel, and wheat penny, so let's get started. First step, the United States of America 1991 D Washington quarter is an interesting example of classic American coinage and a popular choice for collectors who enjoy organizing Washington quarters by date and mint mark. The small D mint mark identifies this coin as having been struck at the Denver Mint. Although the 1991 D quarter was produced in substantial numbers for circulation, individual examples can still attract collector attention because of their condition, strike quality, surface preservation, varieties, and genuine mint errors. The obverse of the 1991 D Washington quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan. Washington faces left in the traditional design. The word liberty appears above his portrait, while In God We Trust is positioned beside him. The date 1991 appears below Washington, and the small D mint mark identifies the Denver issue. These details make the coin easy to recognize and provide collectors with the basic information needed when identifying an example. The reverse of the 1991 D quarter displays the classic heraldic eagle with its wings spread. The eagle holds a bundle of arrows, while olive branches appear below. Surrounding the eagle are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and $quarter. This traditional reverse design had been associated with the Washington quarter for many decades and remained in use until the major redesigns that began with the state quarters era. The 1991 D Washington quarter belongs to the copper-nickel-clad period of United States coinage. It is not a regular 90% silver quarter like Washington quarters dated 1964 and earlier. Instead, the normal 1991 D quarter has a copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper and nickel. Understanding this composition is important because collectors sometimes assume that an older-looking Washington quarter contains silver simply because of its age. The standard Washington quarter is approximately 24.3 mm in diameter and weighs approximately 5.67 grams. Its edge is reeded, with the familiar ridges found on the denomination. These specifications can be useful when checking a coin's authenticity or investigating an unusual example that appears to have an abnormal weight, edge, or physical structure. The Denver Mint produced a large quantity of 1991 D Washington quarters for everyday circulation. These coins entered commerce throughout the United States and were used in stores, banks, vending machines, businesses, and households. Because the issue was produced in large numbers, an ordinary circulated 1991 D quarter is generally common. Simply finding the date 1991 and the D mint mark does not automatically make a quarter rare or extremely valuable. Condition is one of the most important factors collectors consider when evaluating a 1991 D Washington quarter. A circulated example can show wear on Washington's hair, cheek, jaw, and other raised areas. The reverse eagle can also show wear, particularly on the feathers and other high points. A coin with little or no circulation wear can be much more attractive, especially when it retains strong details and original mint luster. Uncirculated examples are often examined carefully for surface quality. Even a quarter that never entered circulation can have contact marks caused by other coins during manufacturing, transportation, counting, and storage. Collectors looking for high-quality examples inspect the fields around Washington's portrait as well as the reverse design for scratches, marks, abrasions, spots, and other imperfections. Strike quality is another characteristic worth studying. A well-struck 1991 D quarter may display strong details throughout Washington's portrait and the eagle's feathers. Clear lettering, sharp design elements, and good definition can improve the overall appearance of an individual coin. Comparing several examples can help collectors understand how strike quality varies from coin to coin. Original mint luster can add considerable visual appeal to a high-quality 1991 D Washington quarter. Under suitable lighting, natural luster may appear to move across the surfaces when the coin is tilted. This original appearance is different from artificial shine created by polishing or cleaning. Collectors generally prefer coins that maintain their natural, undisturbed surfaces. The D mint mark is particularly useful for collectors building date and mint collections. A 1991 D quarter can be compared with other 1991 Washington quarters and with Denver issues from different years. Studying these coins helps collectors understand how the United States Mint produce coins at different facilities and how mint marks identify the location of production. Mint errors can make a particular 1991 D quarter much more interesting. Collectors may search for genuine off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, doubled features, and other recognized mint-made errors. Authentic errors are much less common than normal circulation examples and may receive additional attention from collectors. It is important to distinguish genuine mint errors from post-mint damage. A coin can become scratched, dented, bent, discolored, or damaged by machinery after it leaves the mint. These conditions can make a quarter appear unusual but do not automatically make it a valuable error. Careful examination and comparison with reliable numismatic references are important before making a claim about a suspected error. Magnification can be helpful when studying a 1991 D Washington quarter. A good magnifying glass or digital microscope can make it easier to inspect the date, D mint mark, lettering, Washington's portrait, eagle feathers, and other design elements. Proper lighting is also important because small surface characteristics can be difficult to see under poor lighting. Searching through old coin jars, pocket change, bankrolls, inherited collections, estate holdings, and coin albums can be an enjoyable way to discover 1991 D quarters. Most pieces will be ordinary circulated examples, but collectors enjoy searching because an attractive uncirculated specimen or genuine mint error can occasionally stand out from the rest. Proper storage can help protect a desirable 1991 D Washington. Next step. The United States of America 1978 Jefferson nickel is an interesting coin for collectors who enjoy studying classic American 5-cent pieces. The coin features the famous portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his historic home, Monticello, on the reverse. Although the 1978 Jefferson nickel is a common modern issue, individual examples can still attract collector interest because of their condition, strike quality, mint mark, surface preservation, and possible mint errors. The obverse of the 1978 Jefferson nickel features a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States. The design was created by Felix Schlag and became one of the most recognizable designs in American coinage. The inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" appear around Jefferson's portrait, with the date 1978 positioned near the lower portion of the design. The reverse of the 1978 Jefferson nickel features Monticello, Jefferson's famous Virginia home. The building is shown from the front with the inscriptions E Pluribus Unum, United States of America, Monticello, and 5 cents. The reverse design gives the coin an important connection to American history and Jefferson's legacy. A 1978 Jefferson nickel can be found with different mint marks depending on where it was produced. Philadelphia examples normally have no mint mark, while Denver examples carry a small D mint mark. San Francisco also produced Jefferson nickels for collectors during this period, generally as proof coins carrying an S mint mark. Checking the mint mark is therefore an important part of identifying a 1978 nickel. The regular 1978 Jefferson nickel is made primarily from a copper-nickel alloy rather than silver. This is important because some collectors may assume that an older nickel automatically contains precious metal. The standard 1978 issue does not have the silver composition associated with certain special wartime Jefferson nickels produced during the 1940s. The standard Jefferson nickel measures approximately 21.2 mm in diameter and weighs approximately 5 grams. It has a plain edge rather than the reeded edge found on a Washington quarter. These physical characteristics can help collectors distinguish the nickel from other United States denominations and can also be useful when examining a suspected error. The condition of a 1978 Jefferson nickel can make a significant difference in collector interest. A heavily circulated example may have noticeable wear on Jefferson's hair, cheek, jaw, and other raised areas. Monticello and the lettering on the reverse can also show signs of wear. A well-preserved uncirculated coin can retain much sharper details and attractive original luster. High-grade examples are often examined carefully for contact marks and surface imperfections. Jefferson nickels can receive small marks from contact with other coins during production, transportation, counting, and storage. Collectors searching for premium specimens often look for coins with clean surfaces, strong details, attractive luster, and minimal distracting marks. Strike quality is another interesting characteristic of the 1978 Jefferson nickel. Collectors can examine Jefferson's portrait and the details of Monticello to determine how strongly the coin was struck. Strong lettering and clear architectural details can improve the overall appearance of an individual example. Original mint luster can make an uncirculated 1978 Jefferson nickel especially attractive. When the coin is tilted under good lighting, natural luster may move across the surface. This is different from artificial shine produced by polishing. Collectors generally prefer original surfaces that have not been aggressively cleaned or altered. Mint errors can make a particular 1978 Jefferson nickel much more interesting. Collectors may search for genuine off-center strikes, clipped planchets, broad strikes, die cracks, doubled features, and other recognized mint-made errors. A properly authenticated error can be considerably scarcer than an ordinary circulation coin. However, Unusual appearance does not automatically mean that a 1978 nickel is a mint error. Scratches, dents, corrosion, discoloration, machine damage, and other problems can happen after a coin leaves the mint. Collectors should carefully compare unusual examples with documented mint errors before assuming they are rare. Magnification can be useful when examining a 1978 Jefferson nickel. A quality magnifying glass or digital microscope can help reveal small details around the date, mint mark, lettering, portrait, and Monticello. Good lighting can make surface characteristics and possible varieties easier to recognize. Searching through old coin jars, pocket change, bankrolls, inherited collections, and albums can be an enjoyable way to find 1978 Jefferson nickels. Most examples will be ordinary coins, but collectors can still enjoy searching for well-preserved specimens, unusual varieties, or genuine mint errors. Proper storage is important for keeping a collectible 1978 Jefferson nickel in good condition. Protective holders, capsules, and quality coin albums can help protect the coin from fingerprints, moisture, dust, scratches, and environmental damage. Handling the coin by its edge can also help prevent oils from the fingers from contacting the surfaces. Cleaning a 1978 Jefferson nickel is generally not recommended. Polishing, rubbing, abrasive materials, and chemical treatments can permanently damage the original surface. A shiny appearance created by cleaning is not the same as natural mint luster, and collectors generally prefer coins with original surfaces. The value of a 1978 Jefferson nickel depends primarily on its condition, grade, mint mark, eye appeal, and the presence of any recognized variety or genuine mint error. Most circulated examples are common and generally have modest collector value. High-grade coins and authenticated errors can attract more attention, but the ordinary 1978 nickel should not automatically be considered a rare or extremely valuable coin. When evaluating a 1978 Jefferson nickel, collectors should first identify the date and mint mark. After that, examine the coin's overall condition, amount of wear, surface quality, strike strength, and luster. If something appears unusual, compare it with reliable numismatic references before deciding whether it is a genuine variety or mint error. The 1978 Jefferson nickel is an excellent coin for beginners' next step. The United States of America 1944 wheat penny is one of the most interesting Lincoln wheat cents for collectors because it was produced during the final years of World War II. The coin features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the classic wheat ears design on the reverse. Although many 1944 wheat pennies were produced, collectors pay close attention to the mint mark, condition, color, varieties, and especially possible mint errors. The obverse of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. The design was created by Victor David Brenner and had been used on the Lincoln cent since 1909. The words "In God We Trust" appear above Lincoln's portrait, Liberty appears beside him, and the date 1944 is positioned below. Depending on the mint of production, a small mint mark can appear below the date. The reverse of the 1944 wheat penny features two wheat ears surrounding the central inscriptions. At the top is United States of America, while 1 cent appears prominently in the center. The Latin phrase E pluribus unum appears above the denomination. The wheat design is the reason collectors commonly call these coins wheat pennies or wheat cents. The year 1944 is particularly interesting because it was produced during World War II. The United States Mint had already experimented with special materials for cents during the war because copper was an important strategic metal. In 1943, cents were famously produced using zinc-coated steel, but in 1944 the mint returned to a copper-based composition. This makes the 1944 wheat penny an important part of the wartime history of American coinage. Regular 1944 wheat cents were made primarily from copper with a small amount of tin and zinc. This composition differs from the zinc-coated steel cents produced in 1943. Because 1944 followed the unusual 1943 steel cent year, collectors sometimes pay special attention to 1944 cents that appear to have unusual color, weight, or magnetic characteristics. The 1944 wheat penny was produced at multiple United States mint facilities. Philadelphia examples normally have no mint mark, Denver examples carry a D mint mark, and San Francisco examples carry an S mint mark. The mint mark can be found below the date on the obverse. Identifying the mint mark is one of the first things collectors should do when examining a 1944 wheat penny. The 1944 D wheat penny is the Denver issue, while the 1944 S wheat penny was produced at the San Francisco Mint. Philadelphia produced 1944 cents without a mint mark. These different mint issues are important to collectors who build complete Lincoln wheat cent collections by date and mint. Condition plays a major role in determining the desirability of a 1944 wheat penny. A heavily circulated coin may have worn details, scratches, dark coloration, and flattened areas on Lincoln's portrait and the wheat reverse. A high-grade uncirculated example can show sharp details, strong original luster, and attractive surfaces. Collectors often pay close attention to the color designation of copper coins. A 1944 wheat penny may appear red, reddish-brown, or brown depending on how much of its original copper color remains and how the coin has been stored. Uncirculated examples retaining attractive original red coloration can be particularly appealing to collectors. Original mint luster is another important feature. A well-preserved 1944 wheat penny may display natural luster that moves across the surface under good lighting. This should not be confused with artificial brightness created by cleaning or polishing. Original surfaces are generally more desirable in numismatics. Surface quality is also important when evaluating a 1944 wheat penny. Small contact marks can occur while coins are being produced, transported, counted, and stored. Collectors searching for premium examples carefully examine Lincoln's portrait, the fields around the lettering, and the wheat stalks for scratches, dents, spots, and other imperfections. The 1944 wheat penny is also famous because of its connection to the unusual 1943 steel cent. This history makes collectors particularly interested in unusual 1944 cents. Some 1944 cents may have been struck on leftover steel planchets from the previous year, creating extremely rare and valuable error coins. However, genuine examples are exceptionally rare, and authentication by a respected professional grading service is essential before making a major value claim. The famous 1944 steel cent should not be confused with an ordinary 1944 wheat penny. A normal 1944 cent is copper-based and is not automatically rare. If a 1944 cent appears silver-colored, lightweight, magnetic, or otherwise unusual, collectors should have it professionally examined rather than assuming it is a rare wartime error. Mint errors and varieties can add significant interest to a 1944 wheat penny. Collectors may search for doubled features, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, repunch characteristics, and other recognized mint-made abnormalities. Genuine examples can be much scarcer than normal coins. Post-mint damage is common on old wheat pennies. Scratches, corrosion, chemical discoloration, polishing, bending, and other damage can create unusual appearances that might initially look like mint errors. Careful examination and comparison with documented examples are important before identifying any unusual feature as a genuine mint error. Magnification can be extremely helpful when studying a 1944 wheat penny. A good magnifying glass or digital microscope allows collectors to inspect the date, mint mark, lettering, Lincoln's portrait, wheat stalks, and possible doubled features. Proper lighting is also important because small details can be difficult to see with the naked eye. Searching through old collections, inherited coin boxes, jars, estate accumulations, and rolls of older cents can be an exciting way to find 1944 wheat pennies. Because wheat cents were removed from circulation decades ago, many surviving examples are now found in collections rather than ordinary pocket change. Proper storage is essential for preserving a desirable 1944 wheat penny. Copper coins can react to their surrounding environment, so collectors should use appropriate holders, capsules, or albums designed for coin storage. Keeping coins away from excessive moisture and handling them by the edges can help preserve their